Hello friends and colleagues, my name is Dewey. I am the past chair of the Societal Impact Operating Council of AIChE, and I have the pleasure today of speaking with two of our friends here, Christopher Pope and Tianxin Cai, and they are both very active leaders in our disabilities community. So AIChE is at the forefront among engineering professional societies in its inclusion of members with disabilities. And this inclusion not only consists of addressing the needs of our colleagues, but also to recognize the special talent and capabilities that they have to help us lead to new levels of innovation and solving the problems that we tackle as engineers. So Chris Pope is an independent consultant and also currently a student at Cabrillo College in Santa Cruz, California. And TX is a visiting assistant professor at the Department of Chemical Engineering at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. So thank you both for being here today. Chris, I guess I'll start with you. So tell us about DORIC. What is DORIC? What does it stand for? What does it mean?
Well, you might know it as one of the three types of classical columns, Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian, but it's also an acronym standing for the Disabilities Outreach and Inclusion Community of AIChE. And part of what had me chose that title is because of the column, some of us in the field need a bit more support. And that's part of what inspired me to create this community at first in 2013, because I'd heard of something comparable within ACS, and 2013 was the first time I had presented at an AIChE meeting in quite a while. I wanted to create a group because I know I'm not the only one out there.
So tell us a little bit more then about the mission of DORIC. You said it started around 2013 in AIChE. What's the mission and who are the people that we're trying to get involved?
Well, mostly making sure that those in the profession with disabilities are recognized for their capabilities. It's a combination of support and advocacy within the profession to provide the services we might need, and just to help normalize people with disabilities, because if you didn't know any better, if I weren't here, I'd just be an AIChE conference attendee with a purple tie.
Okay, TX, let's talk a little bit about the past and present programming and the sessions and events that DORIC has been working on. Can you give us a summary of or some of the highlights of past events and where we're headed in the next year?
So we have the panel discussion and also some workshop in both the annual meeting and the spring meeting since 2013. We also have the reception for those chemical engineers with disability and their alliance.
And the support for these kind of activities is coming from the AIChE Foundation, of course, and we want to acknowledge their very generous support of these events. Now, looking ahead to this year, I know there are lots of new initiatives. For example, coming up at the annual meeting, can you tell us about some of the things that we're planning for?
So first of all, I believe we will have our new website when we have our annual meeting in this year. And also we try to create the closed caption for most of the presentation in this annual meeting. And we also try to provide more funding to support the student to attend the annual meeting. And also we try to find whether it will be possible for us to provide some scholarship for those chemical engineering students with disabilities.
I see. So I know with the closed captioning idea, even though I don't consider myself to be hearing impaired, but I know that sitting in that large lecture room, you know, these plenary lectures where you have 300-400 people in the audience, it's certainly going to help me too,
Yeah.
to follow along with what the speaker is talking about.
And
yeah.
And that's one of the things that people have found with the adaptations that are intended for people with disabilities, is they benefit a lot of other people too. Like those cutouts in the sidewalks are good for anybody rolling a suitcase, not just those in wheelchairs.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more then about the website and this online community. How does somebody who is an AIChE member, who is interested in getting involved with DORIC, how do they get in touch with us, or how do they volunteer?
Well, the website will be rolled out in early May, but in the meantime, you can always email me at cjpope.phd@gmail.com, because we're creating a community not only of people who want to contribute to this work, but also those who need the assistance to get back to the point where they can reconnect with the profession.
Okay. Any last comments that you want to add, or concluding remarks?
We will welcome all the students, engineers to join our community.
And actually, the students are important too, because we want to make sure the so-called pipeline doesn't keep people from leaving the profession at any stage. And also, I did have a thought here. Right, but just definitely, you're welcome to be a part. Allies are also welcome, and people who have experience with an employee or a family member with a disability.
Okay. Well, Chris and TX, thank you both for talking with us today, and thank you for your time and effort in establishing the Disabilities Outreach and Inclusion Community, DORIC, for AIChE. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.